Welcome back to the Lumbertron podcast. Despite all the odds, I'm still here. There are more stories to tell, and the need for connection is higher than it's ever been. On that end, I've got an amazing guest today. R.C. Clark is an entrepreneur, storyteller, and a man on a mission. He radiates positivity and brings a zeal that would make Ben Franklin proud. After dropping in on one of his workshops, I knew I wanted to get his story, so we connected for a Skype call on Overcast Tuesday. Get your capes, because we're going on a hero's journey.
And then it goes blurry. Hey, avoid little snags by telling people you're being recorded right now because on the Lumbertron podcast. Welcome. Woohoo! Heck yeah. So, via the power of the internet, I'm here with R.C. Clark. Welcome, R.C., wherever you may be.
Thank you, Tyler. Stoked to be here. Very excited you asked me to come on.
Wow, so much of a pleasure. I just saw a lot of my excited self in your energy, in what you're sharing, in the way you just want to help people be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that gives you a lot of joy, maybe a lot of value.
A little bit. It's not. I don't do it because it makes me happy. Definitely not.
Yeah, I've found in my own life that bringing value, I bring value to myself by bringing value to others, and that hasn't always been the case. I was just about to launch into my own story, so I could get to feel a little bit closer to you. You understand where I've been. I'd say if I were to put myself into some buckets growing up, I was a nerd. I was an introvert. I was shy. You know, I had a small world growing up. I played video games. I learned about computers, and I kind of went on the path that my parents expected me to. I doodled in some art, so the video games and the art came together, and they were like, you should go to art school and make some video games. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's where I'm going to go. So I went off and I had that adventure. I stayed in my comfort zone for a long time, and I didn't even have any friends until 3 years into school. Just going and doing my homework, going back home. I graduated from art school, and I didn't get a job in the game industry. I learned some skills. I had some art, and I was like, I don't really know what to do in the world. Summarizing the next portion of my life after college is I met a wonderful woman, and we moved in together, and then I just kind of started looking for stuff to do, like a job, still practicing my art, trying to get into that field, and never really getting there, just kind of jumping from contract tech job to contract tech job, and working on art as a hobby. I just kind of went through my 20s being in my own head, doing my own thing. I didn't make a friend until 2 years ago. I kept the same group of people that I had friends with my wife. We had a couple friends, but it was just kind of me and her, and I was very in my own world. 2018, I had surgery to remove skin from weight loss. I lost a lot of weight over my 20s. Spent a lot of time working on my body, and I wanted some surgery to make myself feel better about my body. And that was the first time losing my physical autonomy. I had become really, really into being the gym guy, going to the gym, and losing that really put me in a dark place, real depressed, And when I hit rock bottom and thought I want to take myself out of this world, I was like, oh, a light went off in my head. I was like, oh no, I think I'm worth hanging around. So that was a pivotal moment in my life where I finally reached out for therapy. Through therapy, I started having a yearning, a realization that my life was small and I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't have a lot of goals. I didn't have a mission in life, direction. And I started pursuing all of those things. Found the Mankind Project, sat in circles of men, shared my story, learned that I'm not so different from everyone else, maybe. And started talking to strangers, going out, doing new things. Since then, I'm a little bit more emotionally intelligent. It's been an exciting period of growth for me. Just finding self-love. I'm a lot different than I was at that dark moment in 2018. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I'm just a little bit more open. So that's my story in 5 minutes about. I started this podcast to get other stories because I find value in getting to know people and getting to know how they see the world, finding out what works for others, because that's usually helpful to me because I can be stuck in my own ways, and sometimes they may not be working for me.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah.
Love your story. And about mine, we've only met in person, I think, a couple times, but you are a person that really stood out to me, that I noticed. Among all the first thing we did was a spine workshop class with David, or some Ohm Culture. I think it was a spine workshop. But I just remember, seeing you and noticing you because you were the guy that's asking questions, and you were open to learning. You had that childlike excitement, and you were vulnerable and asking questions, and just it was totally positive, not at all ashamed of what he was saying or what he was asking. Just really saying and asking what you wanted to ask. And I think that's amazing. Hearing that you said that you're more of an introverted, person as a kid, or maybe haven't had a ton of friends where you're reaching out to a lot of people, seeing everyone who's there, especially, like David and our instructors, really, really know you and like you for who you are and what you do. And, I didn't know you at the time. I was even oh, Tyler, he seems like a really nice, outgoing guy. But maybe he doesn't really know what he's doing when it comes to movement or something like that. Maybe he's just like that. But then later on, finding out more about you and looking on your site and us talking, and then you showing up there in my workshop, being so receptive to me and what I have to say, just it means much to me. And then seeing these amazing things you're doing, starting having a men's circle, having that website, and being a coach, that, I think that's so awesome. So glad that you're here giving me the opportunity, my story, because I haven't gotten to do that. I haven't had any opportunities to really tell my story, and I've been kind of waiting to do it, I guess. And I've been saying it for years, for years, I've been writing my story too and saying it, but it feels good to be able to talk it.
What a privilege, and thank you for giving me those gifts. I know I always got to work on receiving, those nice things, and that feels really good to hear what you see in me. So, RC, who are you? Who are you, RC Clark?
I don't know. Figuring it out every day, but I am figuring it out more and more. And it's not like I didn't know who I was before. It's just that now it's like my work has changed. My work has aligned to be this person that I've always wanted to be and am at my heart. So I think at my core, I want to help people. So I'm here, and it's about people for me. There's I'm working with a nonprofit right now, and the reason why I'm working with a nonprofit is because I'm a storyteller, and nonprofits are here to serve people. Not all of them, but in general, they're here to serve people. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm working with them as opposed to working with a company that sells products or sells services in that kind of way. Focus is people. Focus is connecting with people. That's who I am. I'm a connector. So I can talk to anyone. I can talk to the president of the nation, or to maybe mentally deranged person on the street. Like, I know that I can show a way that I can connect with them because I've practiced and have an idea of non-judgment. I really have practiced and disciplined myself and believe in a way of being able to see everyone as equal. Now, that doesn't mean that I take shit from anyone. It doesn't mean that I let people walk all over me. It doesn't mean that I let things that are bad that are happening in the world happen. It just means that I'm not going to look at you when I see you in the grocery store and I'm going to think, oh, that person must be dumb. They must be lazy. That person probably sucks. They look like a gangster. That person looks like a square person. That comes up. That first thought always comes up. That happens for all of us. That initial judgment, it pops up and we think about that. But then what I've is to let that first judgment go. And it always happens, but that's kind of the practice with me and people. Just realizing that first thing and just knowing that it's our conditioning. That's my conditioning of what I've seen from my past life, learned from other people, learned from movies. That's all been very important, but I'm just careful of being the watcher of my thoughts. And when it comes to others, I know that I can't take that first thing that there's something more than all of us, that we're all very similar. Our core, we want to love our family, have purposeful lives. We all want to live a life of purpose. We want to live a life where we have a mission, a vision to go towards something greater, to expand ourselves. We want to be better. We want to live better. We want to have better relationships. We want to have a better relationship with our girlfriends and wives and our mothers and fathers and brothers. Even if we don't have it, we want that to be better. We want to live comfortably. We want to love ourselves. We all want that. It doesn't matter if someone's angry out there at you or if they're acting really, really nice. We all want those things. So I want to help connect people. Here's where my whole mission came in, and really where my story starts. Is as a kid, I had a great upbringing, great family life. Parents are amazing. They've given me everything, the love I've ever needed, all the resources and support that I've ever needed to do what I need to do. I'm very blessed and grateful for that. Always think about it every day. I'm still staying things to have. But personally, so I've always been like a nice kid because of that. My dad trained me to be disciplined and competent and confident, and my mother taught me to be loving and open and receptive. So just having that background, I've always been a kid who I could always get along with everyone. I could get along with people, but I was never like with a group. I knew the cool kids, the popular kids, I knew them, but I was never one of them. I knew the theater kids, and I was friends with them, but I was never really anything. I've never felt I've been a part of a group before. I just kind of felt like flat, like something here. I can't see my hands. I'm looking at my something like here in me, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. I don't know if it's real or not. Is this something in me? Is it real? Is it actually going to manifest into something? I don't know. I just feel like I'm kind of whatever. And then, so I had a great childhood. I'm playing sports. I had an awesome girlfriend in high school, and we were gonna travel the world and all that, and went into college, and we broke up, and then I became more of, I finally like got some friends, I guess, in college. I had some roommates there where we lived in a 4-person kind of suite thing. There's 2 bedrooms on one side, and then there's 2 in like this other side of the dorm, and they're connected by a bathroom. So these 3 other guys, we became like best friends instantly. So I had this kind of group of people that I was able to connect with for the first time. I had these people there, and somehow, and then I've had influences. I've had friends that I've looked up to, people that I've looked up to, that have been like those cool kind of people, I guess. People that are really confident and outgoing, and they were, they're very attractive to other people. People like to be with them. They were able to kind of do really whatever they wanted to do because of this somehow like kind of confidence that they had, maybe something that was there with them.
Who were some of those
And I
people?
kind of decided. Well, my first is this guy that I think about all the time, still every day. He was my childhood best friend. When I was in 5th grade, I moved to Denver area of Colorado, a little city called Parker, Colorado, and lived in a cul-de-sac there. Awesome cul-de-sac, and then my friend, his name was James Hewlett. And he moved in to a house at the top, at the front of the cul-de-sac there. And so since we were just neighbors, we got to know each other, got to be friends. And he was a guy, like I was always a skier growing up. And him and his dad, they're skiers, and they're really good skiers. So they started taking me out skiing, actually like, teaching me how like the real good way to ski is. And that's like you're keeping your hands up, you don't let your hands drop, and pretend like you have a tray of food on your hands when you're skiing. You don't want to drop or you're going to turn. You're not going to be able to ski well. And we're jumping on cliffs, and we're like, best of buds. Like every weekend we're going out skiing, going with his dad, and we like hang out every day after school. But he was just a guy that was just so comfortable. Really comfortable. It's like, where is that somehow? Like for some reason, everyone, they saw, he was friends with everyone, like friends with girls. He was like really good at like talking to girls and being like physical in a good, playful way with them. And we'd like go like do like pranks and stuff, like Halloween pranks. We'd go and like throw pumpkins and like build these big snowballs. We like built this giant snowball one time and pushed it into the middle of a street, on this like giant street. And this car like screeched to a stop and almost hit this snowball. And then we're like hiding in the trees, and this guy runs out. He's like, "Where are you kids? I know you're out there somewhere. Where are you?" So we're kids. We're doing stuff like that. But I moved away later, and he was friends with all my friends on the baseball team and football team, and he's just a guy that he's like the leader. He would say he would take people out climbing. He's the guy, he'd take us to do scary stuff, like he brought me to scary skiing situations. He'd bring out friends to scary climbing things, but stuff he was totally comfortable in. He's just like, just gonna do this thing. I know how to do it. Come on. He's the guy that's at the top of the tree that's saying, come on, one more, more. Like, come on, let's go. You can do it. I just had that confidence. And so I always, think after I moved away and being older, like, what would James do? How would he act? I could see him.
Yeah.
I could see his body language. I could see the way he would talk, what he would do with his hands, the way I would like see that, and I'd ask what we could do. So, unfortunately, about 5 years ago, he was killed. He was killed riding his bike on the side of the road. He moved to Tahoe, California. That was always his dream, to move to Tahoe and to go ski 100 days a year. And he's super smart. He was like, he'd always get A's in school, A's in college. He's like training to be like a doctor, like a radiologist or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, he moves to, to Tahoe, and he just, a driver just swerved off the road and killed him, and then all of a sudden he's dead, like this guy, this person everyone loves so much. It's like, why him? Why him? Of anyone in this world, why him? So, but his memory, lives on in all of us, and I still think about him almost every day, about what he would do. And he's just a kid, I think about him as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old, and I'm 28, and I think about that. And I think that just kind of goes to say that all of us, we have this innate power that we're born with and that never goes away. And people think like you grow up, and you become someone different. Kind of like how you said that you're the same as you were. I'm the same as I was too. I still feel that something inside me that it's growing and it's evolving because of the work I'm doing. But it's the same.
That inner child is always there.
Yeah. So I'll kind of wrap. I'll say like kind of the next, I guess, part of my story. I haven't even gotten into my mission and stuff like that. But I'll just go into kind of my college years. Like this is like so this worked. We're talking about the business hero. We're talking about hero business here, and to me that really means like, okay, how? So I'm an entrepreneur. I've started a business. I've worked in businesses that are startups, worked in smaller companies, and that road has always been me doing what I need to do to achieve my greater vision, to achieve my greater mission. Everything that I do in life, every single thing, aligned with my mission and my vision. And it's because of what it is, and it's because of the way that I think about my mission and my vision. So my mission it's to spread good ideas. Hey, when I was in college, this idea came to me. I don't know why. I don't know necessarily how, but I wanted to share good ideas. There are good things in the world. I knew that ideas affected the way that we think, and the way that we think affects our emotions, and the way that we present ourselves emotionally, that determines our action. So I know that it all started with the thoughts, and it all starts with ideas. So my mission, I'm going to spread good ideas. So how do I do that in college as a sophomore? Well, I get a marketing degree. I become a marketer, because marketing is spreading ideas, for the business purpose, or for a purpose of calling people to action. Marketing is there so that is to provide value. Marketing is providing value. When you provide value, you show people why they should be with you, or why they should buy your product or your service, or they should be with you over everyone else, or do nothing. So how can I help companies or myself show others that they should be with them? I believe in the power of business, of personal, private business, because it gives us the power to choose. We get to choose what businesses we want to support. We get to choose what nonprofits we want to support. So I became a marketer, and I became really depressed as a sophomore. Like I had this month of depression, very strange. It was like, I don't know what happened, but I didn't want to go face my friends. I didn't want to get up out of bed. I just felt so strange. And I thought, like, why is this happening? Why can't I feel like myself? Sure, we've all heard of people that talk about depression, and it's kind of like, well, why don't you snap out of it? Why don't you go get a mission? Why don't you go follow your vision or something? Why don't you go do something? Well, it's like when you have a depression, you don't know why. There's nothing you can do about it. And I know everyone experiences differently, but the way I experienced it was, I felt in myself that I was still me. There was someone there, somewhere that I knew was me, but I couldn't bring that person out. I couldn't bring it out, and I didn't know how. And the only option I had was to wait it out.
That sounded a lot like your childhood experience of not knowing what you were, not sounding like you weren't a part of something. So you just waited then. Just waited for something different.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. I was just like, well, eventually I'll be okay. So I guess I just got to wait and just keep going, but I didn't. There's no giving up. There's no rolling over. I kept trying to do things, but I just thought, maybe today. And then I'd wake up and be like, I think I'm okay now. I think I'm okay finally. And then like, nope, you're not. So this happened. And then a year later, I had another depression. This time it was 3 months long. Same thing. So it's like I'd wake up and I'd look back at my bed and just wish I could go back to sleep. So I wouldn't want to go to any parties. I wouldn't want to go see friends because I wouldn't be able to show up as myself. I couldn't be me. But what snapped me out of it, and it's both. It's either like it snapped me out of it, coincidence. It was just the time for my body to let go of that. But I got this internship with the Volunteer Center of Whatcom County. So at this point, and that's up in Bellingham. I went to school in Bellingham. It's 2 hours north. Anyone can ever go to Bellingham. Highly recommend it. It's beautiful. Beautiful downtown, great people. There's skate parks everywhere. It's like on the ocean. It's amazing. But then I this internship because I'm a marketer and I started being able to do writing. They didn't even offer an intern. Didn't even offer one. I said, hey, like let me do something. I can write, do. And I had like program director to give me this internship. I didn't even know if I was going to get credit. But it was like, this is what I just needed to do it. I'm just like, this feels so right. So that's another part of my philosophy of life, is trusting your gut. Like when there feels like something you got to do, you got to do it. You got to trust it.
It felt right.
Yeah, it just felt right. It felt like the right thing to do. That's what I did. And then it snapped me out. I had a purpose all of a sudden. And it's like, wow, now I'm creating for this organization that's doing great things. That's helping connect people to ways that they can volunteer and help their community. Like that's amazing. So I felt it's like all of a sudden my depression was gone. So that's why I really encourage everyone to have a mission and a vision, because it gives you that long-term purpose. Like when you low, you have a high, there's always something there that like your whole life is about. It's there to help you move. Yeah, you can also your mission could be, I don't know, your mission is to connect. Like you can look in many ways. Maybe if you're somewhere else, it's to sit in a cave for a month or something and meditate. Your mission can come out in many different ways. But the most important thing, it's all based on your environment, where you are. Just you have to trust your gut. So, okay, so here's how I I guess here's how I all got to where I am. As far as business goes, we can wrap up the story and keep talking about other stuff. But wrapping up the story, why this is the story about hero business is this. Okay, so I became a marketer at the Volunteer Center. My best friends, they were involved in video production. So then I had this idea, hey, let's combine with Volunteer Center. Awesome. What's one of the best ways to spread a message? It's through video. So yeah, let's go with my friends. Let's make videos. And we made testimonial style videos because the goal was to bring more people volunteer. So we were going to interview, and they were going to talk about their experience volunteering. And then we were going to have all this beautiful B-roll. And we're going to go to events, make these videos. They're going to be the reason why people want to go to the Volunteer Center. Great. I'm still friends with these guys. We're music festivals. We filmed a wedding. We did all this fun stuff. And then I get into college. We have this business on the side. It's back there. This is like our passion. Us 3 guys. We have this business, and it started 7 this business to be a video production company. So it's always in the background. As soon as I graduate college, we're still there, but I'm gonna make some money. So I got this sales job. And this sales job, I'd be in a grocery store, and about 10 times a day I'd get on the phone in the grocery store and say, attention, all adult shoppers, we have a free gift for you at the end of aisle 10, or in between aisles 10 and 11, next to the yogurt. You have to come right now. And so I'd be in the back, and I had this booth set up, and it was on 2 of these pallets, and there's a table and then a black tablecloth. And then in the front that has the product. One product I was selling is the Miracle Whisk. So this is what I do. I'd have a little bowl, and I'd pour half and half into the bowl. And during my 2-minute presentation, I have the whisk, and I'm whipping it. And people are what's this guy doing? Why is he doing this? But I'm whipping this thing. And I'm talking about all the features and benefits of a product. So through this job, I learned how to tell a story. I learned how to how to present something, to give the background, how to talk about the features of this thing, and then how to close. So that's what, sales is giving a presentation. It's talking, and it's giving the benefits, and it's telling a story about it, and then it's closing.
Mhm.
Buy this thing, get this thing, and you do it in such a way. I'm there, I'm like, taking my time. I'm pretending here. I say, I give my offer and give the offer for the product and say it's $29.99 or say $30. Wait, that I have these other smaller ones that I need to get rid of. So I guess I can get for free, but I've got like a whole stockpile of them.
Mhm.
So it's like, through this job, I learned how to sell. Not like for evil, it's not like for evil, but it's like nobody needed these products. And you're like using sales techniques to make people want to act now.
Mhm.
For better or worse. However you can look at that. That's what you do. That's what kind of sales is on that kind of side. From that story, I'm sure you can imagine kind of what that's like. But
Mhm.
okay, that taught me how to communicate, that taught me how to give a presentation, that taught me how to use inflection in my voice, taught me how to speak fast, speak slow, taught me how to do all of these things like that. And then another job opportunity. Well, basically this guy, he's in this business, he's talking about multi-level marketing. And that sounded really good. So I quit this job so that I could do multi-level marketing with this guy. And there's like a mentor that's in Australia, and they're like teaching you how to do stuff, and then you like build a website. Basically, it was marketers who didn't know how to market, selling marketing services to people who don't have a business. Like that's what this multi-level marketing is. It's like there's a ton of these people, or at least in this one, it's these people who know about business and selling, who are convincing other people that they can be business coaches and marketing coaches, even though they've never ran a business or know really anything about marketing. You just fall. And then really nobody's helping anybody, because then your job is to recruit others that you're teaching. So that's kind of how that works sometimes with multi-level marketing. But it sounded really appealing at the time, like getting to know this stuff. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to do that.
Mhm.
Didn't work out, but blessing in disguise, of course. Start working with a recruiter to find a job. So it's hard finding a job, right? We all know that. It's hard finding a job. What I learned about finding a job, though, is you just got to do it every single day. There's no messing around. Every single day, you apply to a job. You apply to 2 jobs. You do it every day, just like your mission, just like anything else. You're going to apply to a job. Don't lose faith, okay? You just do it every day, and in about a month, maybe 2 months, you're going to get a job, okay? It's that simple. That's how sales is. That's how life is. You just do stuff every day. So she told me about this company, Nighthawk Sweepers. Nighthawk Sweepers. A street sweeping manufacturer. They make street sweepers that sweep parking garages. So not like out on construction sites, those massive ones, and not like those tiny sweepers that are in the Congo or something. It's like mid-sized parking lot sweepers. And there's a job for like mid-sized sweepers. Yeah. And in the job as a marketing / video person. I got a marketing degree. That works. What they really kind of needed was a videographer. At that point, I really never shot video. My friends did it, so I was around. I never shot video. But hey, can you edit these videos and content and be a marketer? I can do that. I can totally do that. And but kind of, I don't know if caveat's the word, but at first I'm like, do I really want to work with a street sweeping company? Like that sounds really lame. Like the guys are nice enough, but it doesn't, like, this isn't a glamorous office. We're basically in a construction office. And street sweepers, like, do I want to do this? Now, I asked me, should I do this? And I got an immediate yes. And there's a technique I've been using for a while now, for a few years. What I do, if I'm ever indecisive about something, Should I get this job, like being a Nighthawk? Should I go to that party? Or am I okay now? Is maybe I did some things, I had a conversation I'm not sure about. And I say, am I okay right now? Am I good? And if I get an immediate yes, then yes. If it was because of that job, I got the yes from Nighthawk. So it said yes. And I said, really? Like, are you sure? It's a yes. And it's not like, oh shit, it's a yes. And so I said yes, and I took that job. Now, if I didn't get a yes.
Is the absence of a no, or the absence of a yes, is there a maybe? Is it just true yes is yes? Anything else is no?
There's a true yes, and then there's take more time. You can take more time. There's no answer, then we can take more time to think about this.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to ask myself, like, am I okay right? The thing is, every time I ask that question, it's always been yes. Because deep down, I know I'm okay. But if it's something like situational, if it was like for a job, it was for like doing something maybe physical, maybe something that's not emotional, then a lot of times it is just like a no answer. So I just kind of take more time to think about it and just like let it go. I let it go in the moment, and then I ask myself again later. Mostly lately, the purpose has been to reassure me that I'm okay. And it's like when I ask and I get a yes, it's like just reminding myself that everything you've done, and it's because I've experienced asking myself this too. Every yes I've ever taken, it's always led to the right thing.
So it's allowing you to kind of draw on your own past experiences for reassurance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't strong. Well, it was this story from when I was roaming around India, and I was roaming around, not just roaming. I needed to get a work visa so that I could work in India, and so I could travel north to Nepal and then go to Southeast Asia and Australia, and so I could go travel the world. That was the mission. But I had this like experience where I like bought this necklace on the beach one time from this lady, and it was like I was looking for something, but so I bought this necklace from her, and you're like not allowed to sell stuff on the beach, so like so it almost felt like this sacred, ritualistic kind of like I'm gonna get something that's like meaningful to me, and I ended up having this. I was studying the Bhagavad Gita, which is a Hindu religious text book, I guess. And it's like I started having this conversation with this necklace, asking like Rama, is that you? Like, Rama is like the playful god, the adventurer, the flute player, the been charismatic one, and like because that's what I identified with. Like, is that you? Like, it's like yes. And I started asking not yes or no questions. I've been like, so like, what's the thing in my life? Like, what am I doing here? It's like, I guess I can only ask yes or no questions, right? It's like, yeah. And so like I wasn't like going insane or anything. It was just like I decided that I wanted to do this, and then it felt really powerful and real. So I started asking myself, these days I don't think so much about Rama, and I don't even have that necklace. But the idea of asking my gut and trusting myself has stuck with me. I've literally never been steered wrong.
Yeah, kind of like you had what sounded like almost a spiritual experience, and then went inward with it, almost to find the guru inside of yourself. Just taking your own advice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it. And so I guess wrapping up my story. But also, so I say like everything I've gotten to and been to has been perfect, and I've never been steered wrong. It doesn't really have to do with the situations I've been in or the places that I've gone, but it has everything to do with my attitude and the way that I think about the things that I get, because I know that everything that I get that comes to me is for me in the best way. Even if it's something difficult, even if it's not what I expected, everything that comes to me is absolutely necessary and for me. There's a reality that the universe is here to help us, not just help us, but we are that. It's like it's like you would help yourself, right? Like if you were God, you would want to help yourself, right? Like you would want to give yourself the best life possible, right? You would want to give yourself everything you've ever needed, right? And not what you've wanted, but everything you've ever needed. You would want to be a mentor and a guide for yourself, right? I mean, that's what life is. That's really what's going on here. And it's really just a matter of deciding and and knowing that what you have and what you get is working for you and the universe is conspiring for your own good, because that's what you would want for yourself. That's how it goes for everyone. Any single person you talk to, what would you want for yourself? That's the golden rule. How would you want to be treated? You wouldn't want to, you just want to think of yourself, you just want to leave yourself alone. Just like leave yourself as not being judged and like trying to box you, but just like as a brother. You would want to think of that person as a brother, as a sister, where you can just let them be and just love them for who they are right there.
Yeah.
So after Nighthawk, I had this amazing experience. I edited video every day for 8 months. They gave me the freedom to learn After Effects. After Effects is an effects program that you use with video. You can make animations. You can do like anything on After Effects. And I started using After Effects to create titles and to create like all sorts of graphics for these videos that I made. And then what happens? Is I'm walking through the park one day with one of my good friends, walking through Discovery Park. Yeah, if you guys haven't been to Discovery Park here in Seattle,
Beautiful place.
just go there. So good. And this guy's teaching a capoeira class. His name's Rafe Kelly. And he just comes up and he hands me a business card, because he's like teaching a class. He's like, hey, maybe you're interested in a class if you want. Here's a card. And so I look at this card. I start looking him up. I'm like, whoa, this guy's cool. He's like, basically what we do is we teach people how to reconnect to nature through parkour, roughhousing, like going in the water, tree climbing, and like all around like natural movement embodiment. And we take people on 7-day long seminars out into the best spots in Washington, Western Washington, to like do parkour and just be in nature and like jump cliffs and climb trees and do all this stuff. So something that I learned from another mentor is if you want to get business from somebody, if you want to get in with a company, if you want to make videos or write or do something for someone who's out there, what you have to do is you have to offer value. And if you're kind of in this entrepreneurial kind of place where you're trying to get yourself out there, where there's so much competition, where you're not maybe applying for a traditional job where you go through an interview process and you get hired, but maybe you have a job already and you're looking to expand yourself into doing something more entrepreneurial, like to do something where you're trying to make your own passions come out, like trying to work for your passion. What you need to do is start doing free work. You need to start providing value for people for free. And what that looks like, it looks like two things. It looks like just creating content. So whatever you're doing, if you're an artist, if you're a videographer, if you're a writer, if you're a coder, game developer, you need to start creating content and just putting it out there and just showing people what you can do, because that's your portfolio. So in all this time that you have a job and that you're working for someone else, working money, every single other hour and minute needs to be dedicated to creating content and creating connections. So you create content, that's your portfolio. That's what you can go to show someone that this is what you can do. And besides that, you're doing it because you want to make yourself better. You want to enhance your skills. Like, you got to make yourself better every single day. You're not going to live a life that you love doing the work you love if you don't work every single day at it.
That's some strong words. What if I think that I'm enough? Is that wrong? Is that wrong to accept where I'm at? Do I always have to be in pursuit of betterment?
Well, you're always enough. Yeah, you should always be proud of who you are and where you are. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But for me, getting better, it's not because I'm not good enough. It's because I have to. Because I'm not happy if I don't create content every day. If I don't put out a post every day, I'm not happy, because it means that I'm not giving myself to the world. I'm not giving people my value. And the reason why I'm here is to give others value. I'm trying to help others live better lives. I'm trying to help organizations, help more people. So getting better is not because...
need to give, and doing is a way of giving for you, and it's like a cycle. It feeds you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that question.
Yeah.
So,
and so, what are some of those other ways that you like to do for yourself? What are some of those pursuits that you find mastery in?
mm-hmm.
What do you chase? What do you chase? What brings you joy?
Mm. Right. Yeah. I'm glad you asked this, because it comes as part of having your mission and your vision, your overarching maybe goals or way of being, and your discipline. And so for me, this idea of spreading good ideas has to do with being a communicator, having to be an amazing communicator.
Mm.
And it's how can I connect with people, because that's what the messages I want to communicate is through people. So on that quick side note, I think the reason that everyone is that we have a lot of pain and struggle. We have war and racism and sexism and just general fear of others and conflict is because we don't understand one another, especially when it comes to people of different culture. It could be people in our own country of different culture we don't understand, or people that are completely of a different culture that are maybe indigenous tribes. We maybe downplay them. We downplay their capabilities as people, or maybe their connection to knowing, because an indigenous tribe knows nothing about our technology, but it doesn't mean anything. Like, life is just time and experience. But they know a lot about other things. But we don't understand them, so maybe we're afraid of them, or we don't understand. So if we can understand one another more, we're going to have less of that fear, and we're going to be able to connect with each other more. And so by creating videos and communicating and doing all this stuff, I'm going to be able to show people who we are, show people that we're all the same, that we're all very similar, much more than we thought. And by showing that we're similar, we get to know each other. So we're sharing our stories right now, me and you, we're getting to know each other. And that means that we're able to connect and love each other more because of that. So those stories connect.
Yeah.
So my
beyond those first judgments.
Yeah, getting beyond that. Yeah, the more we learn about different people, the less those first judgments affect us, because we realize that we're all different, which makes us the same. So, as far as stuff that I'm doing, stuff that I do, so I'm here to connect, right? And one thing that I do is I dance. I love dance. I love movement. And it started just because it feels good. I love movement because it just feels so good.
Mm.
But it's the reason I especially love it, and I especially love dance, and especially why I practice it every single day, is because the entire world dances. Everyone dances everywhere. So if I'm a person that can go somewhere and be a great dancer and connect and really show my authentic self through how well I can dance and dance with other people, it's just instant connection. Instantly, these people are going to be interested in me, and they're going to want to know what I'm about. And it's a doorway to who I am as a person. So I also play harmonica and music. What another great way. If I can go somewhere and start playing my harmonica, if I can jam with other people playing maybe totally different instruments, or I can just show that side of this universal language of music. So, but that's a part of my vision. That's a part of my mission. So every day I read, I move, and I work. And part of that work, thankfully, thank God, part of that work is even in college and now is I get to go hang out with people, and I go to parties, and I go dance at places, and I go have a ton of fun because I'm here trying to connect. And so I found a way to make every single thing that I do a part of my larger mission and vision, which is to bring more peace to the world through communication and through storytelling.
Yeah, to share those good ideas and bring people closer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how has that mission changed for you in this time of quarantine, isolation, pandemic? What's changed for you in the past 2 months, 1 month. Yeah.
Virtually nothing.
Hmm.
Virtually nothing has changed. Except for, so I work 30 hours a week at Safeway, at a store right by my house. It's a grocery store. So part of that is like, that's a vulnerable place, right? Like I guess things are different because we all wear masks and we're all wearing gloves.
Hmm.
And, but what's been different is that what's easier for us now is asking each other how we're doing, is like reaching out to someone and saying like, how are you doing through all this? Like, how are things going for you right now? And it's not a super dramatic change, but now instead of, hey, how you doing, before COVID, hey, how you doing? Doing good, like great. How are you doing? Hey, doing great. Like, yeah, another day, doing good. Now it's more like they'll ask like, so how are you doing through this? Like, so I'm working here, I'm doing this. I'm a checker, so that's why I'm talking to all these people. I talk to like 150 people a day. Like, how are you doing through this? Like, I'm doing good. Yeah, doing good. Things fine. Like, how are you doing through this? And they're like, how are you doing through this? How are you doing through this? It's more of like just the underlaying, like, how are, like, in its actual concern, because we're all connected to this thing. So it's like, how are you doing? So it's really beautiful because everyone can more easily actually like ask how we're doing and connect with each other. So making it more of a point to ask in that way, that's understanding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that common bond. I feel like this has been a gift to me because everything has slowed down a little bit. There is more concern. There is more connection. The little things like seeing someone outside. There's more of a like, hey, we're both alive. Everything's awesome. You're great. Yeah, that's kind of the.
Yeah. But
awesome.
yeah. But everything else is the same, because my discipline is the same. So I'm working an internship at a nonprofit called the Adventure Project, and I just started working with them about a month ago, and they're an amazing. So through the rest of my story, I'm at this place now where I'm able to combine everything I've ever learned and that I've practiced. It's communication, interpersonal communication. It's writing, it's copywriting, sales, it's marketing systems, it's content creation, video production, again with copywriting, web development. Built 4 or 5 websites at this point, just like starting up other businesses, redoing websites, and it's writing web copy development. All of these things have come into working with this nonprofit. Linking up, yeah.
Work
I
forward.
can't hear you. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yes. Hello.
Okay, now we're good.
Yeah. It sounds like the perfect sum total of everything that you've accrued to this point, manifesting in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let me back up real quick though. Let me just finish the work story because it culminates. I got to the culmination here now. Let's just like go back to these couple things quick because like it has to do with the hero business thing. The whole point of this.
The hero.
The hero thing. Hero, like business, like living the business life maybe that you want. It all came down to what I just said basically, and it's still continuing though, and what's going to happen in a few months from now. But so I had the job with Evolve Move Play. That was the name of the company where we take people on nature retreats. And then for a year and a half, every day, I did video production and marketing. So, and I kind of, at that point, I made it. There was the first time that I made it because after I gave that free value, for a month, I worked on this guy. I worked on creating a video for him. I just said, hey, I'll just work for you for free. Like, let's make a video. Let's make an awesome video. And he's like, yeah, that sounds great. So I made this awesome video. We're working together a few times a week. He's getting to know me. I'm getting to know him. And then one day, then he asked me like, like how much are you making? Like one weekend, yes, like how much do you make at your job? Like, I don't know, there's a really good way it came together. But basically, a weekend he said, RC, I want to match what you make your salary at your job. And, would you want to come work for me full time? I was like, hallelujah. Yes. Yes, I do. Because what that meant, it meant total work freedom. Now at Nighthawk, it was great because I was doing video and I'm doing marketing, but I'm in an office. I'm in an office 9 to 5. And the very first day is when I actually realized what that meant. It's like the first day. So I got there, I worked for them for about 8 months, but that first day it was, okay, here's a bunch of stuff you can use to learn about the company. Here's some documents you can read. And it got to like 1 o'clock and I'm thinking, wow, I have to still be here until 5. And I've done everything. And at my sales job before that, that was like fun. It's like, that's like being an entrepreneur, basically. Like you're just working in these shows and we have meetings. We're doing like getting pumped up. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's like a
bit less
movie.
downtime.
It's like a movie doing a job like that. Yeah. But at Nighthawk, it's like now I'm in an office and I'm trapped here, and these ideas aren't my own. I'm still kind of catering to what they're doing. I'm making content that's really like what they want, and I'm doing it. Now at Evolve Move Play, it's like I made it. My time is free. My time is free. I'm working with one other guy. I can work from home. We have meetings together, but I do work whenever I want. I can edit this video now. I can edit this video then. There's no one looking over my shoulder. We're doing great stuff. Like there's only 2 of us. So all this stuff I've learned about marketing, we're implementing these strategies. We're coming up with new stuff. And it was like, after I talked to him and he offered me the job, I'm like, I made it. I can't believe it. How did I make it too? Like this, like so soon? Like I did it? Wow. And then on the side, I still had my other company. We were working, but they were working other jobs. My own production company. It's called Endless Film Production. And we were still doing stuff. We were making weddings, doing weddings once in a while, and doing a music festival once a year. This great festival called Summer Meltdown we did. But I was working with Wraith, with Evolve Move Play. But we were still building our business on the side. And at that about 1.5 year mark, I was in San Francisco with Evolve Move Play with his name is Rafe Kelly. And we went out for dinner. We were teaching a seminar, and we went out for dinner and got back to my car, and the back window was shattered. And that, my backpack, my camera backpack with my camera, laptop, 2 other bags with laptops, and like all this other gear was stolen. It's like, oh shit, this sucks. My gear got stolen. And but I knew everything was going to be okay. I had this feeling everything was going to be okay. And also, so when I see the number 4 is like a sign. It's a sign for me. So I look on the building next to me, and the building address is like 1444, and look at the parking meter, and it's like 4412444, and there's a license plate, and it's got like a few 4s on it. And so I had this crazy confirmation that like through this shit, something good is going to come out of this, and everything's going to be okay. And that was about the time. That was about the time that I started me and my partners. We decided to go full time in our production company. Like it just so had happened that we signed like a couple deals, and then we were able to start on our own. And me and Rafe, we were kind of already kind of growing apart. We had talked about stopping working together at that point. And so I didn't know why that felt so okay to lose this gear, and then like shit, the stuff just wasn't good. But I ended up being kind of the catalyst for being in my own production company. It was good. And then the last transition. So then like I made it again. I'm in my own production company. Like we have clients, like we're making money. And but we never made a lot of money. Like I was living with my brother in an apartment, and my parents were helping me with rent, like a lot of it. And after like about a year, I came and moved in with them. So then they're paying for my food and rent, and really we were just able to pay for these 2 other guys. Basically, all the money went to them for their salaries, and which was fine. I was lucky enough to have a family that could support me, and was able to still work every day and do it. It's amazing, like huge blessing. But we're doing great, like we're living the dream. We're like working our own company. We're like going out to video shoots and we're learning stuff. And all the while, I'm learning how to make deals, talk to clients, do all the communication. I'm doing sales a lot. I'm also the interviewer, so I'm asking all the questions. That's my favorite thing. I got all the interview skills, creating these videos, and I'm shooting video. I can do everything. Shooting video. But we hadn't been super successful. We're not like in the first year we went from $0 to 80 grand, which that's great. For like 1 year it's 80 grand, but it's not enough to pay for 3 people's
people.
Yeah. And so we kind of got to it, doing, still kind of struggling. I'm the leader in the company. Like I'm the one, I have the vision. I have the vision. I know like kind of where we're going. And since I'm doing the sales and the outreach, I'm kind of always the guy who's like talking, getting the clients. I'm like, it's kind of my main thing. And I knew that we would find the break, we'd get more money, we'd do it. But one day my partners, we called a meeting and said that they wanted to end the company. They wanted to quit. And it was like a huge shock. I'm like, really? You guys like want to end the company? Like you don't want to do it anymore? Like, why? Like, well, we want to do our own thing. Like, what? You want to do your own thing? What do you mean? It's like, well, we think we want to have our own company. Oh, okay. Well, how are you going to get clients? Like, what are you going to do? They're like, well, we'll just find more clients. We'll have a company. Like we've like thought of a name. We like thought of like a name for it already. And you can like have all of our clients. Like don't worry, like you can have the clients. And I thought at first, like, okay, it's my company. I'll take it. But basically, it ended up, they basically started working the same company with the same clients, only under a new name without me. So essentially, I got kicked out of my own company. And it was like, oh shit, it kind of sucks, but I still knew, it also felt freeing. It was like, I think this is going to be for the best. It's going to be for the best for me.
Catch some number 4s on your way out? For more of that synchronicity?
I didn't get any 4s there. But what happened was that then I'm like, okay, what's a common thread I've always done? Writing. Okay, I'm going to be a copywriter. So first, I don't want to go too long here, but okay, here's the real wrap up for the story that will still culminating into this thing. This is like we're at like 95% now. It's all blowing up into this ending here. So I'm sitting on the couch. I'm thinking, okay, don't have a company anymore. This is awesome. I'm still at home. I still get to live. I still get to eat. Okay, I don't have to like rush into anything necessarily. What am I going to do? Well, I want to travel the world. That's what I've always wanted to do. How do I do that? I want to travel. Okay. Well, it looks like I can buy an around the world ticket, and if I can have enough money, if I save up 10 grand, I can buy an around the world ticket and I can travel around the world. So, okay. Now, how am I going to get to 10 grand? Well, okay, I need to find a job. Now, I didn't want to find a job where I'd be tied down to necessarily. Like, I didn't want to work for a company and then be like, all right, guys, I saved that 10 grand, like, peace, and like do that. Because that's kind of what I did at Nighthawk when I accepted the job for the other guys. I was kind of like, well, a better opportunity for me came up and I have to take it. And so it kind of, hurt them. But in hindsight, it probably should have been happier for me that I was doing like really what I wanted to do and that I needed to do. But it was hard. But so I told myself I didn't want to do that again for a company. I'm not going to like get like a good salary or work for a company where I'm like doing marketing. I'm getting super involved in their mission, and then I'm just going to like peace out. I thought, well, I worked in a grocery store in college. What if I work at a grocery store? Like how long would I be willing to do that? Okay, how much money can I make? Okay, I can make minimum wage. If I do that for a year, how much is that? And it was like almost enough. I'm like, okay, do I really want to work in a grocery store for a year? I think so. Yes. Okay, so then I looked and then I thought, yeah, I can do this. And then you know what? And then I'll also in my spare time, I'll start up a copywriting business so that I can make like extra money. Like I won't think about it too much, but I can start developing a business where I can write for others. Maybe I can write blogs, maybe I can write web copy, maybe I can write emails. I'll just like write and start my own business on the side. And so I'm about to apply for Safeway. Still a little unsure. And I'm gonna apply, and my mom, she says, "Hey, RC, do you know the address to the Safeway you're gonna apply for?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah. I mean, I can just look it up on Google, Mom. I don't need the address. Like, it's fine." And then so I'm just like, whatever. And then she brings over the receipt and sets the receipt on my right next to me. I look at the receipt, and the store number is store number 1444. Like, oh shit.
Of course.
Store number 1444. And then I'm like, Brandon's my brother. And I've told him about the fours. And he's like, "Brandon, store 1444. And he's like, "Whoa, and it's 248 right now." So all of a sudden, I knew that was the right thing. That working in this store, saving this money to go travel, do this plan, that was the right thing. And that's exactly what I was going to do. Then, and then I started doing that. And of course, this was me thinking, I don't have to pay for anything. So I have about 10 grand in credit card debt. I got to pay down my debt first. And then if I save every single cent, if I don't spend a single cent, maybe I'll have enough. Now, me and my my two other brothers, we're living in this house with our family, and we're not paying rent, we're not paying anything. And then Dad's like, guys, you being here, we're spending a lot of money, and we're not going forward, we're going backwards. We're owing more money into credit cards and debt. So it's time for you guys to start paying your way, start contributing to the family. Now, you don't have to pay like as much as you would pay for rent, out somewhere. You start paying. So I'm paying them, a modest sum, just like $600 a month, easy. So, but doing that killed my plans for a year. It's like now all of a sudden it would take 2 years, and 2 years is too long. So so again, my plan was foiled, right? My plan for world travel was foiled. First big time was with my production company. My production company, that was my ticket to traveling the world. Everything I'd worked for 8 years was all wrapped up in that. Got stripped away from me. So that was failure number one for traveling and pursuing my vision. This failure is obviously not a very lesser failure, but it was just another idea that came. Boom, didn't work. Okay, now what am I going to do? I still have faith. I can still do this. Now I got to bust my ass in this copywriting business. Okay, how am I going to make money? I got to make money from this business. It's not a side project anymore. It's now like a full-time side project. I work 30 hours a week. I can work 30 hours a week on this copywriting business. So boom, 4 months. And then I think, how am I going to do this? Who am I going to serve? Who am I going to serve? I'm going to serve nonprofits because their business is to spread good ideas. There must be so many nonprofits out there that need writers. There's a busy executive director. They don't have time to write these emails, to write blog copy, to write this stuff. They could hire someone who's outside, and that could be me. So that's what I did. I researched, started going all into nonprofits, researching how to write, how to write fundraising copy. I built a website for myself. I wrote blog posts so that I could about like how to create the perfect welcome email series, how to positively influence donors to donate. It was like a psychological kind of piece. And I wrote these other emails. And then, but when I started pitching, something happened. And I started to realize that if I was going to have 5 different organizations paying me $500 a month, so I can make $2,500 a month, so that would be enough to travel the world, especially if I was going to live in third world countries. If I was going to do that, I would have to be committed to each of these 5 companies, and I have to split my time between each of them. Now, maybe it could be smaller. Maybe it could be 3, maybe even 2. Sure. But I'd have to get really passionate and backed up into each of these organizations. Because when you're a copywriter, your first job, when you're a marketer, your first job is to find out every single thing you can about that organization. You have to find out everything. You have to read everything. You have to research everything. Otherwise, you can't have the right tone of voice when you're writing. So writing for someone is all about finding their tone and writing in a way that appeals to their audience. So then I thought, man, this sucks. Like I just worked for 5 months. And now I'm about ready to pitch, and I just pitched a couple people, but it doesn't feel good because I don't care about these organizations. So like, what am I going to do? Do I really want to do this? Do I really want to? And at first I thought, yeah, like I don't mind writing for companies I don't really care about. Like I'll just write and then I'll make the money and I'll travel and I'll be able to travel and make connections and make videos. So I'm like, no, I can't do that. I can't work for people I don't really care about their mission. So mission foiled, plan foiled again. I worked for 5 months on building the site, creating content, and being this copywriter. And it's like, now it's not going to work. So now what? Well, what if I just worked for one organization? Okay, what if I step back? What if I put my world travels maybe on hold for a little longer again? What if I just worked for one organization and I started to fulfill my mission of starting my own nonprofit? So now this is my mission of just having my own, where I'm in control of all the content. I control the content. I have the vision. I have the mission, and I can do it exactly the way I want. So how do I do that? That was why I did the copywriting with working with multiple organizations too, so I could learn. Now, how do I really learn? What if I worked right with an executive director? What if I worked with the program directors and I got really close into one organization and I learned how to do it and I wrote all this amazing content. So that's how.
We're there.
And yeah. And the little thing, I went back to video. I said, I'm going to be a video guy. I'll be a video producer. All nonprofits need video producers. I'll advertise myself as a video producer. Applied for a few places, didn't work out. Then I applied for an internship on the Adventure Project's website. And it was for marketing and communication. It wasn't for video. And then they ended up calling me for an interview because of the welcome email series article that I wrote to try to advertise myself as a copywriter. They liked and hired me because of that. So now I'm here in this organization. Everything is together. Everything that I've worked for and practiced and that I want to do, learning, it's all right here. And in the future, this is an internship. So either I get hired by them or I get hired by somewhere else that's going to give me this opportunity. Either way, it's like these guys are, I don't know if you've heard, anyway, these people have a lot of connections, these are they're a big deal. They know a lot of big deal people. So it's like, this is it. Again, I made it. I'm guaranteed I'm doing the work that I love. And in a couple months, I'm guaranteed to have a job where I'm now full-time as a marketing communications worker at some amazing nonprofit. And then there's the next part of my journey. Now, I have the video skills. Will the Adventure Project, they need video. Will they hire me and will they utilize me for my other 50%, which is video production? Because they need it and they want it, but it's not the focus right now. Will they do that? Or will I work for some? So these people, they travel the world. They're based in 7 different countries in Africa and they go there multiple times a year. Is that going to be how I travel through them? Is it going to be somewhere else? That's the question. That's the question.
Oh, yeah.
There's the story, Tyler. That's it. That's
yeah,
kind of
there it is.
The story.
In a long roundabout way.
It's like, just trust your gut. Even you just gotta trust yourself, and you gotta work every single day. You can't just trust. It's like daily action. I haven't gone to, and it's not that I haven't wanted to have friends and go to parties and go out and stuff like that, but it's because I just want so bad to do these things. And a lot of this time I haven't had any money because the jobs I've been working haven't given me any money. And I've had, help from my parents and with with rent and other expenses, extremely grateful for. Not everyone gets to have that, but I used it to the fullest too. It's not I feel lucky, but I'm not lucky. Nothing has been easy for me. It's because I've taken every single day to work as hard as I can to get what I want. And it's not that I don't love friends, I love partying. It's just, and I do, and I can't wait to do more of that. But that's what it takes, it's just faith. And it's not like it was that hard because I was doing what I love too. When you do something you love, you'll feel fine about it. So just go out there, whoever is watching this right now. It's all about daily action. Just do a little bit every day. That's all it takes. And then that little bit, it goes into a lot.
to the action. Climbing that mountain on that hero's journey. Well, that, yeah, that's something special. Thank you so much, RC, for telling me your story. It was an honor to witness. And so what's next? Where can people find you? Do you want to be found?
Yeah, definitely. My Instagram. I think I love Instagram the most right now. I found that that's like where I can post this kind of stuff. I'm talking about the business hero or just, being the hero. I love to just write this kind of thinkings about the world, and I love talking like this on Instagram story. And I'm trying to figure out really what to do with it all. Right, for the past couple of years, it's just been posting like what I feel like posting, But what I want to start doing more is communicating with my audience and building an audience in a way that's like, hey, what resonates with you guys? Like, what do you want to see? How can I provide you value? And then building a relationship like that, as opposed to me just like talking at people. So it's really hard for me though. It's been really hard for me to do that and like try to think in that way of maybe being a coach or mentor or someone who's like presenting himself like that. But that's what I'm working towards. So on Instagram, I'm at Rebel Signals. And that's kind of my media thing. That's like I don't know what that's going to be, but it's kind of my overarching brand. Yeah. Is Rebel Signals. Yeah. So that's it.
Well, it was a real pleasure, and you're going places, kid. Thanks for intersecting your life with my life, and time to connect.
Yeah. Let's talk again for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, that seems like a good wrapping up point. Thank you for being on the Lumbertron podcast, RC. Ooh.
Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it. See you again soon.
All right.
It's not easy condensing a life's pursuit into an hour, but I'm grateful that he did. RC reminds me of myself at my most connected, and he gave me a huge gift of his time. And those compliments! I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, if you have any questions or comments, send them on over to lumbertronic@gmail.com. Until next time, keep sharing your story.